What's it like boarding Havila for a cruise up the Norwegian coast? On this video I'll show exactly what that is like. I'll also show you before that what you can do in Bergen in the day before you travel. So the first thing I want to do is go and take a look at Bergen from up high. We're going to go up there, but it is a little cloudy, so I'm not really sure just what sort of view we're going to get, but let's give it a go. How am I going to get up to that mountain? Well, I'm just going to get a tram from the centre of Bergen. It's really easy. The two apps that you need to have are on the screen now. One to buy the ticket, one to plan your journey. I bought a 24-hour ticket from when I got into Bergen, and this is exactly how much it costs me in Norwegian crowns, pounds sterling, and also in American dollars. One of Norway's most famous sons, born in Bergen, is the composer Edvard Grieg. He's remembered here in this park. Our tram journey today, as you may have seen earlier in the video, it's not the world's longest. It's just over 20 minutes or so. As we pass the railway station, a quick heads up. On a future video, I'll be taking the overnight train from here to the capital, Oslo. Did I sleep well or did I struggle? Hit the subscribe button to see my video of that and also the voyage up the Norwegian coast and back with Havila. Go on, hit subscribe. I know you want to. As somehow seems appropriate in Norway, a land of tunnels, bridges and ferries, our tram stop was actually underground. Well, it's not exactly busy, is it? In theory, it's a 10-minute walk from here to the cable car to the viewpoint. Challenge is, can I find it? And knowing me, I don't think I'll find it. We'll see. Now, if mobility is a problem for you, you can get a bus directly to Ulriken. It costs 135 Norwegian kroner, so just a little bit more than I paid for my travel pass, which I also used, by the way, to get from Bergen Airport all the way into the centre of the city. So for me, that travel pass was well worth the money, but you may well want to get the bus directly to Ulriken instead. Using Ulriken, you have a simple choice. You can either get a single and then walk down, or get the return. If I hadn't been on the clock and aware that my ship would be waiting, I probably would have walked down, but this time it was going to be a return. I'm told by those who've travelled on this in the summer it gets very busy, so I knew I was blessed for such an empty gondola. However, as you'll see later in this video, this counted as overcrowded during my time here. Before long though, we were heading up, and one of the great things about a cable car ride is how it gradually reveals the scenery around you, and this was to be no exception. By the way, I'll let you know my thoughts on how this compares to Fløibanen a bit later in the video. After about 5 or 6 minutes, we reached the top. Well, I did wonder if we would see some snow when we get up here, and the answer to that is just a little. Also, the view is good, but there is a little bit of low cloud and mist and fog around, so we're not going to see perhaps as far as we could on a sunny day. And that down there is Brann Stadium, the football team, or certainly the main football team here in Bergen. This is the view round the back off towards the mountains and a little bit of snow. It's not that cold really, certainly colder than down at the bottom, and as you can probably hear, there is a small wind, but not too much, but it is absolutely deathly quiet. I think there's only about 10 or 15 of us up here at the moment. A definite schoolboy error. I should probably have bought some gloves for me up here. After standing around for a few minutes, it's quite a bit colder than you think. Anyway, with a tiny bit of snow falling, let's go and take a look over the port of Bergen and actually where we're going to be going on that Havila ship a little later on in this video. So the historic part of Bergen where we're going to be going is to the right of what you can see near those ships docked. And if you follow that little finger of land pushing forward and look slightly to its left, that is where our Havila ship is going to dock, and that's where we'll be leaving later in this video. All right, enough of all this cold outside stuff. Let's see if we can get something to eat up here. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. This is what I had for lunch. I have to say the cafe was a really relaxed place to be. Well, certainly this time of year. Well, the food was pretty good, but the view now, with the sun starting to break through, is even better. I enjoyed taking in that view and avoiding falling down that little step. Time now though to head back down on the cable car, and then we're going to head into the city and take in one of the historic, probably the most famous part that people talk about when they come here. If you're enjoying this video and perhaps it's proving helpful, please give the old like button a tickle. It doesn't half help the channel and this video. Now I can assure you, if you came here in the summer, this would be a very busy ride. But take a look behind me. On my own. A ride down towards Bergen on my own in the cable car. That's not a bad thing, is it? It's not a bad thing when you travel out of season. For a lot of people though, it is cable car up and then you walk down. I mean, I haven't really got the time because we need to be down and getting our ship, boat, whatever, in a couple of hours time. But just looking down towards where the boat is, or should be, it's not in just yet. If you look at this footage that I'm about to show you, and if you see the red and white boat heading out and look to its left, that's where our boat, ship, whatever, will be coming in. I can exclusively reveal that that gondola had no people. So I am the only person heading either up or down, of course with you, on this cable car at the moment. So which should you take, Fløibanen or Ulriken? Well, if your time is short, you don't need to do both. The views from the top at Ulriken are more spectacular. However, at Fløibanen, you're a lot closer to the centre of the city, and you also get to meet the locals like I did last summer. So I would say, in short, I'd probably prefer Fløibanen to Ulriken. Don't forget, soon on this video we'll be getting on board that Havila ship. I'll take you through the full process of what it's like, including one of the bad things I didn't like. Well, I have to say, as public transport goes, that's pretty straightforward. Within, 20-25 minutes, we're right here in the centre of the historic part of Bergen. We'll have a look at Bryggen in a second, but let's go and have a look at some of the boats in port first. So on the left, you've got a very modern part of Bergen and all of the ships that use this port, and on the right, the old castle. It's still cold, but it's nowhere near as cold as it was right at the top. Now look, if you are in Bergen for a while, there is a little boat you can use that goes between either side of the harbour. I'm not going to use it today because I'm not planning to go in that direction on my walk around Bergen. But if you look at my previous video, link is on the screen now, you can see what it's like to get on board that boat. But here it is, just bimbling past me now, the Beffen. I do wonder sometimes on that boat whether he gets a little bit bored. It's not exactly the longest route. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5, and he's across the other side. He must do it a lot during a normal working day. Now, if you look ahead of me, if you look past that big white and blue ship and look to the left and look right at the top of the hill, that's Fløyen. That's the other high viewpoint that you can have. But now, let's go and have a nosy around Bryggen, the historic heart, the old trading heart of this city. Once upon a time, Bergen was the old capital of Norway, and as a city close to the sea, the North Sea, it was all built on trade, and the trade went through this part of Bergen predominantly, and now, as ever, it's become a tourist attraction. It's the one you see in all the photos. It's Bryggen. When you do come here though, make sure you do one thing. Don't just look at the front of the buildings, head down the streets in between. I can tell you that coming here in mid-late March, it's very quiet. Come here in the summer months, it will be heaving here. Tons and tons of people, very, very different. But I guess the advantage of this time of year is you get a bit more time to yourself. And one of the things you heard about Bryggen is that there is a Christmas shop all year round. And that's right, there is a Christmas shop all year round. I'm not going in, but it's here. I like Christmas as much as the next person, but not really in middle of March. That behind me is where you get the Fløibanen. But what's in front of me is the reason I've come up here. Cinnamon buns. I have to tell you that Skilling's boller, hopefully I've got that pronunciation correct, which is the local cinnamon bun, was excellent, as was the blueberry juice. And now we need to get back to the hotel, pick up the bags from storage and head for the ship. So if you're coming on a cruise with Hurtigruten or with Havila, should you spend a bit of time in Bergen or get the ship on the day that you land with your aircraft? Well, you can do it. Obviously there's a risk that something goes wrong with your flight, but also I think you'd really miss out on this little city on the Norwegian coast. So I'd certainly recommend coming here and taking in a special place. I've got the bag back and it's now about half a mile, about a 10-minute walk down to the ship. So there is home for the next, 11 or 12 days, all the way up the Norwegian coast and back. Want to see what it's like to board? I think we're going to do that, hadn't we? If you like queuing, you'll like this. It looks like a queue to get into Wimbledon. I've started the stopwatch. So 45 minutes later, I'm all checked in, and a change from Hurtigruten. You get a lanyard with your key card. You don't have to pay extra. On the Hurtigruten, you have to pay extra. Hiya.
As I was to learn at the end of my cruise, the lanyard was just for the voyage. Still, it was better than having to buy one, which was the option with Hurtigruten, unless you bought your own.
Time to get on board. So after the 45 minutes, that was pretty quick. I've not had to do the safety video yet, so I'm not sure if you do that in your cabin. But anyway, we're on board and on deck 9. Got about an hour or so to wait till we can go into our cabins after 6. It's 6 o'clock. We've had the call that our rooms are ready, so I'm off in search of my room, which hopefully I have my bag outside. We have an introductory meeting to go to in just a second at 6:15. But before that, let me just show you my cabin. I have to say, is there a space compared to the room that I had, the cabin I suppose is what you're supposed to call it, that I had on the last cruise. There is definitely more room. So pretty well laid out. I think it can split into a twin, I'm not sure, but I'm really pleased, even though it's just me, to have this bed set as a double. And then what have we got over here? We got a mirror there, and then storage space in here. Major storage space in here, with a fridge not full of beer, unfortunately. And we have more storage space here.
And this is the final part of my room, the shower room. Oh, and I also got to watch my safety video here too, as well, on the TV. After that, it was on to the first of our daily briefings during the voyage.
That meeting lasted for about half an hour, and yeah, it was quite helpful. It gave you an idea of where and when you can get your meals and when you have to book times and when you don't. Also took us through the excursions coming up for the first full day around Ålesund as well. And it was just a good introduction to the cruise itself.
Following dinner, time to enjoy the sail away.
And with that, it's goodbye to Bergen. What did I make of the whole process of boarding this Havila ship? Well, it was pretty smooth. My only gripe would be the amount of time I spent waiting around. 45 minutes to check in and probably 20-25 minutes to get through with the food. I think if I'd chosen slightly better times, I'd probably have been all right. I know some people went straight to getting a meal as soon as they could, and that they found that the queues weren't too bad. To come on this channel, I'll be taking you up and down the Norwegian coast on this Havila ship. Hopefully seeing the Northern Lights. You never know, I might get lucky on that. So to not miss out, make sure you hit subscribe now. Also, if you're looking for a video about what Norway is like, also on the screen is the full Ulriken cruise during the time of the midnight sun.